works. This is great. Well, welcome everybody to the November CPAE business meeting. We are so excited to have Kristin, Arnold, and Baer talk to us about marketing, our CPAE, and marketing in general. How can we be better as a group? How can we be better as individuals marketing what we need to be marketing? And before we turn it over to them, just a few announcements. First, I think you've all seen the book, The 50 Years of Hall of Fame Speaking Wisdom. Please feel free to share that. That has some seriously good nuggets of information. And if you're stuck on how to grow a business, it's a quick read. Some people really got the assignment and other people threw out just such a targeted amount of wisdom. It's just incredible. So that is out. It is on the Facebook page. It's also on the website. Second thing, if you know of a CPAE, of something they're going through or something I may not know of, can you just shoot me a text or an email or something like that? It was very nice that we were able to support Bob Pike because people were letting us know what was going on. So I really, really appreciate that. Lots of us are going to the summit in December, back at the Rosen Shingle in Orlando. Gonna be fun. And if you're going, you should have already gotten the survey to sort us into groups. I think it's kind of like the Harry Potter sorting hat. I have no idea how it works, but we all get sorted and then we all get into groups and it should be really fun. So can I just see hands if you're going to the summit? Is anybody going? Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. And then the event after the summit is our January 14th. This is a Sunday night. This is our happy hour social. This is the wine tasting. My friend Rashmi is a wine ambassador with Bossuet. And so the three wines we have, we decided that people were probably bubbled out after January 1st. So we're focusing on a white and two reds. They are all good. We're getting them at the below member discount. So that's nice. And we just need to order that by the 20th of January or December. You don't, of course, have to get the wine to participate. We're just going to have happy hour and we're going to talk about what we're looking forward to for the year, what our strategy is, some things like that. So it's kind of an informal business discussion with everybody getting a chance to talk and a little wine because, why not? Why can't we do that? And then we've got Thrive coming up after that in March. That's the 8th through the 10th. I know you know that already, in Albuquerque, which I can't live there because I can't spell it. And that's going to be fun. That will probably sell out. Yes, lots of people were surprised by the fact that hotel costs have gone up. Folks, we all know hotel costs have gone up. So that's going to be a thing. Influence is back here at the Gaylord Rockies in Denver. So that's going to be fun. That's next August. And with that, if I don't get a chance to say it, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Do we have any other announcements? Anybody have any announcements for the group?
This is Eileen. I don't have any announcements, but I just want to acknowledge you, Mary, for the way in which you are rolling out this whole thing on CPAE. You're keeping us informed. And by the way, if you buy the wine, there are instructions of things you have to do before the meeting with the wine. So thank you, Mary, very much for everything.
Oh, Eileen, you're so kind. It's totally my honor and my pleasure. And thank you. And yes, they do wine tastings and they have done virtual ones for years and years and years. So they will send to you like the mat and the tasting notes and open the wines at this time and do this. So it's pretty great. So thank you for that. Awesome. Any other announcements?
Yep. Oh. Happy Veterans Day. And thank you for your service to you and Kristin and the other veterans among us.
Oh, Jim, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. So kind of you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Bill Cates, anything I'm missing? Bill's leaving, so I'm going to guess no. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, whoops. Wait, how did Bill do that with Christine? Okay, that's weird. That's just crazy. I don't know what y'all are doing. Y'all are crazy. That's marvelous. You be crazy. All righty then. Well, let's get to it. I am so excited about today because, a lot of people had to reinvent their business after COVID, during COVID, through COVID. And the way everybody knows what we actually do on the platform is the easy part. It's getting of the work that is the challenge. So I'm so excited today that Kristin jumped on in as a brand new CPAE And she had asked a lot of questions, how do I leverage this? And then she offered to share what she learned after talking to folks. And then we have the marketing guru, Jay Baer, after that. So that is fantastic. Oh, Bill is speaking at your chapter. Sure, he is. Sure, he is. That's exactly what's going on. So with that, Kristin, I think you want to share screen, and I'm going to turn it over to you and mute. And thank you both so very much for doing this. Thanks. Take it away.
Well, my pleasure. Can you see the screen? Yes. And you can see me this time, right?
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. So you get the CPAE. Yay. Thank you. It's wonderful to be part of this group. And it's kind of like, okay, so is there a decoder ring or something? Like, is there a secret handshake? Like, so how do you actually leverage this thing called the CPAE? And Mary gave me some ideas. And I talked to a couple of people, and I just, thought that I would share what I found out. So this is what very basic kind of stuff. And there's going to be some things that you're going to say, oh, yeah, I do that. And other things you go, no, I don't want to do that. And there might be some opportunities here that you have it. So this is a summary slide. If you want, you can download the slides. I think we can put that in the chat box when we're done. But I'm going to kind of go through each of these. The most obvious thing is to do a press release. So the lovely Barry Banther, I think you're on the call here. He put together a press release. So when I Googled, CPAE Speaker Hall of Fame press release, I saw Barry Banther. So you can do a press release. Interestingly enough, NSA does not do a press release as far as I could tell. You can also do a mail or an email campaign to your clients and advocates. This is my big idea that I got from Mary. Is I put together a little postcard. On the backside, I wrote a nice note to all 300 of my clients and advocates that I was able to locate, send a handwritten note. I've gotten some really, really good response from that. Keeps you top of mind, and actually even some business. So yay for me. You could also put it on your website. Now, there's a couple of places that I've seen people put their, you leverage their website. It's an obvious kind of thing, but like Della Toro, he actually has it on his homepage, so here I am, the celebrity Hall of Fame keynote speaker. You could also, like Stacey Hankey, she actually has it in her lower navigation. And so it's on each and every page. You could actually have a dedicated page. So I saw several things that are pretty common, but very rarely did I see all of these things. So for example, do you have the logo? By the way, I thought this was really interesting. I Google a CPAE Speaker Hall of Fame, and the person that shows up like at the top of the search is a dead guy, the late and great Tom Wininger. So it's kind of like, I think there's an opportunity here for some of us to have a dedicated page. His is actually CPAE as his sub URL. Many people actually spell out the entire thing. That I didn't see any consistency on that. But if you notice, he's got like the logo on it, and he has a description about the CPAE, what it is. He talks about the year, to date, 173 men and women. These are pretty kind of typical types of things that I see. Now, the lovely Mary Kelly, she actually has a page where it is CPAE, CSP, and her certified virtual presenter designation. So she actually created a whole recognition page, which I liked, and that's what I did. Brad Montgomery actually has a very long page. And if you look at his URL, he's got the whole thing, Speaking Hall of Fame, Council of Peers Award of Excellence, CPAE, which I thought was, pretty extensive. And he's got almost every one of these kind of characteristics in his. And if you notice, he's got lots of pictures, and he's got his speech. And, he's got a thing like, what does the CPAE Speaker Hall of Fame actually mean? So like, what does it mean? Then let's see, Barbara Sanfilippo, she actually had like a picture, some static pictures. Those are nice. We've got Sam Silverstein has lots of static pictures. So, there's all kinds of different ways that you can do this. Steve Gilliland, if you look at the verbiage that he's got in here, he actually has a testimonial or a quote from, I think it's, I should have probably highlighted this. He's got a quote from Harvey Mackay. It's the 4th paragraph down, which I thought, okay, having a quote or a testimonial. And then, you can have a picture of everybody in your class. I saw that pretty much. The Anna Liotta had that. You could also have the whole video, Mike Domish being inducted into the National Speakers Hall of Fame. That's a nice video that you've got there. Sam Richter actually has a little piece on his dedicated page about why hire a CSP or a CPAE. That's always a nice touch. Let's see. Terry Shodine, she actually has view the press release down on the bottom of her page. So all of these elements kind of are a nice way to funnel them all together onto your website. So there's a lot of different elements. Then you can also write a blog about it. Now, if you want the longest blog in the history of the CPAE, you want to read Jason Hewlett's How Did He Get into the Speaker Hall of Fame? It's let's see. I actually had to print it out because I wanted to read it. This is double-sided. It's probably about 10 pages. So honestly, it's a huge blog, but it's hysterical. We would expect nothing less from him. So that's kind of the kind of what I saw on websites. One of the things that I did on my YouTube channel, let's go over to YouTube, is I Googled CPAE Hall of Fame. And, if you notice all of these, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Our first one is Sam Silverstein. Our second one's Mary Kelly, Barbara Glanz. We've got this one I thought was really, really interesting. Our incredible social media website, all things social for its sakes. I'm like, oh, that's a really nice thumbnail. So if you have a YouTube channel, have a really nice thumbnail. So it kind of sticks out. So if you take a look at his thumbnail, see, he's got some really nice logos, and we don't even have a benefactor anymore, but he's got a CSP logo and a member of NSA and stuff. So I took all of that together and I put together a video, and I've got a thumbnail. But here's what I did with my acceptance speech that I got with NSA, is that I took all the things that people gave me, and I sent it to, I didn't do it. I sent it to my video guy, and he put them all together. So it's got pictures of me, walking up to the stage, and it's got pictures like when I mention my mastermind sisters, I put in pictures of them. And so that was kind of a nice little thing that in fact, I just uploaded it. So, speaking of YouTube, it's always nice. Marilyn Sherman, she actually has in her YouTube banner description, CSP, CPAE. She's got the Hall of Fame business speaker, as well as in her verbiage. So, you're now wanting to think about, oh, okay, well, how do I look at my social channels? Most people change their banner. So like Mark LeBlanc put in CSP CPAE. Awesome. But there's 2 other places on LinkedIn that you can put it in. Leanne Tiemann, she actually wrote it in her job description that she's a member of the National Speakers Association for 26 years and 11 months, Speaker Hall of Fame, CPAE. It kind of works. And she also put it in her honors and awards. So you might want to just make sure that you've got it there as well. Also in social media, Terry Brock, he's got it in his banners as well as in his title. And then lastly, a good place to put it is in your email signature. So I use a little thing called Wise Stamp. So I just updated my email signature. So that pretty much covers it in a rapid fire kind of situation. I'm sure that there are other things that you're doing. I'd love to hear it. Let me know. Send me an email, Kristin@KristinArnold.com. I would love to see us have some kind of brand Bible or brand standards. Like I saw people call this the Speakers Hall of Fame, the Speaking Hall of Fame, the Lifetime Achievement Award Speaker Hall of Fame, some people like CPAE, I did not see any brand standards around how to use the logo, some recommendation. Like it would have been nice if I had gotten some recommendations. So I would highly encourage that there be something that we put together. So this isn't going to be the last that you see this kind of thing, I think. I would love to take any and all ideas and suggestions that you have, and we'll put together a little something decoder ring for future CPAEs. And that's all I got. Questions, comments, thoughts?
Oh, I love that.
I think I did that in less than 10 minutes.
That was amazing. Can you go ahead and share that slide deck in the chat, if you would, please? Does anybody have any questions for Kristin before we turn it over to Jay? That was wonderful. Mike, go ahead.
Not so much a question, something I noticed a few people did, I did it too, is also clarify what makes you unique within the Hall of Fame. So Leanne had it. Leanne said, first woman from Colorado ever inducted. I put first in 17 years from the education market, or the first ever in the college market, first, so the people within your market know, oh, this is exceptional within our niche here, within our subject matter expertise. He's one of the only, not one of 200. He might be one of one, he or she might be one of four. It really helps create a status of differentiation.
That's a great idea. Thanks.
Awesome.
Anyone else? Wonderful. Jay, we're going to turn it over to you to maximize our time. I know you've got great stuff. And
we'll
thank you so much again for doing this, and take it away, Jay.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Great to see you. Here's what I want to talk about, and I think it will be useful for all of us. The idea is, how do you market as a speaker in an AI world? Something that we've all been hearing about, playing with in various forms and guises. This kind of surprised me. I've been in technology for 30 years. The CEO of Google said that AI is the most profound technology that humanity will ever work on, more than fire or electricity. So if you're name checking fire and electricity in the list of human achievement, that got my attention. That's for sure. That's pretty good company. The thing about AI is that we all have it wrong. We believe today that the big deal about AI is that we can use it to create stuff easier, right? We can use it to make slides. We can use it to make a photo. We can use it to write a speech description or to make a contract. Yeah, all that's true, but that's not really what the big shift is. The real deal is that AI will fundamentally shift how every single one of us finds information, how we actually access and learn the things that we need to know. For many, many years now, since really Yahoo first came online, we have used the internet this way. We've said, okay, find me business growth and customer experience speakers, and then you get a list of speakers, and Google helpfully provides you links to a bunch of websites. There's Josh, there's ESB is on here a couple times, so nice job by them with their SEO. Hey, there's me, there's my agent Michelle, LA is there, etc. This is kind of how we do it. Google serves up some sites. We're like, yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea, and we click through and we take our chances. This is how it's going to work now in an AI-driven world. This is actually from ChatGPT. I didn't mock this up. This is in real time. So I can just type out, please provide examples of 10 outstanding customer experience keynote speakers. Please provide titles of their most popular presentations and any books they have written, and also the website address. So again, this is in real time. I didn't fake this. This is actual elapsed time. You see it's thinking for a second, and then it spits out all of the keynote speakers. There's our mutual friend, Shep Hyken, CPAE, Gene Bliss, Carrie Bodine, who's terrific, John DeJulius, who many of us know. Hey, there's Fripp, who's on the call, and myself. And now all of your research is, in fact, done. So I want you to just put yourself in the shoes of a meeting planner just for a second. Would you rather be presented with a list of 20 theoretically accurate websites, or have all your research done in 5 seconds in one page? What this means is that all of us have to fundamentally change how we build awareness for ourselves as speakers and for thought leaders. This is how we used to do it. Our mutual friend, Mark Sanborn, CPAE, has a blog, as many of us have or had. And in this blog, Mark is trying to talk about the things that are unique to his position in the market, things like 10 common thinking errors leaders make, the power of self-leadership, etc. Great. So the idea is that he creates this content, Google finds it. If somebody searches for self-leadership, Google says, hey, one of the things that you could read about self-leadership is from Mark Sanborn. You should click here. And then the people show up on his website, and eventually he gets paid. I think we all understand the mechanism here. However, now, why would you do that? Why would you do that when you can just go to any kind of AI tool and say, please provide 10 recommendations for business executives looking to improve their self-leadership, include headlines, bullet points, and I don't know, we'll see, and other sort of ideas. Okay, click, boom. Again, this is in real time. And now you're going to get essentially all the information that you're seeking. You don't need to go to Mark's website. Here's all the things. This isn't even from Mark necessarily. It may be, we would never know, because it just cobbles together from whatever it can find. And now your problem is solved. You see what I'm getting at here? The middleman, which is a website, is no longer going to be necessary. The ramifications of that are twofold. First, what we call in the marketing field unbranded search, which means any search term that's not your name is going to decline dramatically. So the idea that somebody is going to search for executive self-leadership and find your site the way Mark is hoping to be found, that game is going to decline very, very quickly, because people aren't going to go to the website. They're just going to get the question answered. Which means that from this day forward, from this conversation forward, every single day that you take breath, your website will be less important than it was the day before. Your website will be less important tomorrow than it is today, and it will be even less important on Saturday. Because every single person in the world with electricity will have their own chatbot on their phone that can just provide all this information without the middleman of, here's some websites that might answer your question. The question will be answered in the way I just showed you. So how do we do this? There's 5 ways to win in this world. 5 ways to win with what I call hide and seek marketing, which is marketing in this AI-powered world. And again, I wrote this for this presentation. This is the first time I've put this content together. Would love your feedback. Hope you like it. 5 ways to win. First is you got to out-execute the AI. We just saw that AI will give you the answers to what do we need to know about self-leadership, but how good is that content really? AI purports to stand for artificial intelligence, but I think it actually stands for average information. You are not going to get greatness from artificial intelligence, from a chat bot that sits on your phone for free. You're just not. You're going to get mediocrity. It's set up to do that. So we have to make sure that we are doing better than we have in the past. The quote that I say now is that the problem is not that AI can create content. The problem is that we are creating content that isn't any better than AI. So if you're just making an okay blog post to make one because you're hoping Google's going to send you traffic, don't bother. You're wasting your time. We have to create content that is worthy of the title thought leader. We have to put more time and effort into the things we make, which means you probably make fewer things, but the things that you make are better. They have to be better than a robot can create. Second piece is to atomize your awareness. Historically, we've always thought, okay, our website is the home base, and we sprinkle some magic around in social media and other places, and we hope that everybody shows up on our website and they look at our reel and they ask us to come give a presentation, or they buy a book or whatever. Yes, but we have to realize that in an AI world, these large language models just pull information from everywhere. So instead of saying, hey, I just want to kind of be on my website and stick to my knitting, it's almost the opposite. What we want to do is be as many places as we can, because it gives us more chances to be recognized and included in something like Find Me the Top 10 Customer Experience Speakers, which means every interview, every video, every article, every podcast, every place you are online is another reputation artifact that can be ingested by AI and gives you a higher chance of being recommended. Now, as a practical matter, it wasn't that long ago where I would ask this question, many of you probably would as well. Why would I spend time on some tiny podcast that has very few listeners? Why would I actually devote an hour of my precious time to go be on a podcast that gets 2,000 listens a month? It's not worth it. It's not enough people. It is now. Because, and I cannot emphasize this enough, large language models do not consider source or authority. As you probably know, the way Google works is it's based on the strength of the website that you're on. So if you're on a website that gets lots and lots and lots of traffic, then when your name or your link is on that site, Google gives you dramatically extra credit. Large language models, OpenAI, ChatGPT, and all the rest, they don't work that way. To them, it's just a word. It's just a 1 or a 0. They have no ability, at least at present, to understand this website is large and credible. This website is small and less credible. So truly, the Wall Street Journal has the same amount of authority as some guy's blog. It doesn't matter. So the more places that you exist, the more places that information about you or from you exists, the more chances you are to be included in all of these answers that people are going to get directly from these AI assistants. Third thing is to show, not tell. For now, AI assistants are primarily text-driven, as the examples I showed you illustrate. It's primarily, I type in a question and I get back a bunch of answers in text. That will likely continue for a bit, and that's potentially good news. We also have to remember that YouTube is still the #2 search engine in the world. It's Google and then YouTube. And video is harder for AI to disrupt than text. So wherever possible, we need to create what we know in moving pictures. Now, you should do it written as well, but if you have a video, you have text, just transcribe it. It used to be that we would create a bunch of text and then we'd say, we should make some videos of that. I think the better approach going forward is to make a bunch of videos and then create text from it, where the video is actually your core unit of measure, that you think as a video content creator, and then you back into text instead of the other way around, okay? Obviously, as many of you are familiar, a short form video is not going back in the bottle. Vertical short form video is skyrocketing in popularity. There's a rumor that it's only amongst young people. That is not true, and it won't be true very long. Every social network in the history of social networks starts with the young and then becomes normalized, right? That's the way Facebook was only college students, right? And now it's the old people's social network. So we've seen this movie before. So yes, while TikTok, for example, does skew younger, that's not going to last forever. And it's already growing. The fastest growing group on TikTok are people 45 and plus. No surprise. And you can really do a great thing here. This is our friend Dan Thurman, CPAE, doing Dan Thurman things on stage. So he just has a little excerpt of his talk. 829,000 views on a 60-second clip from his keynote. Now, obviously, he's doing handstands, which is probably more than I would want to attempt. It's visually interesting, etc. But there is a there. I wish Jan was here today and he could echo the success that he's had on TikTok, combining his personal life and his professional success. The fourth thing to work on is to de-anonymize your audience. One of the problems that we have, certainly on the platform, but also online, is that many of the people who interact with us or consume our content or read our blogs or listen to our podcast or whatever, we don't know who those people are. We don't know who they are. We just know they're there. And until or unless you know who they are, you have no ability to control the downstream relationship with those people. There's two types of reach online. There's reliable reach, which means you're in charge of what you deploy, to whom it's deployed, and when it's deployed. And then there's unreliable reach, which is, hey, I put something on LinkedIn and hope to God that they show it to some people. It's literally an attention casino. You're just hoping that the number comes up. Reliable reach is always the direction that we want to head. So this has been true in this industry forever, but in an AI-fueled world, I think it's particularly true to remember A, B, C, D. Always be collecting data. Always be collecting data from your audience. Every presentation I give on the platform, I have people text in from the audience to get bonus materials, to get the slides, to get whatever. I average about 62% of the audience will take advantage of this. So that means that I get 62% of the people who see me give a presentation, I have their email address within 30 seconds. Which is why I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people on my email list, because they gave me the email. Now, if I have your email address, I can decide what to send, when to send, why to send, what I can ask you to do. Can I ask you to buy a book? Can I ask you to come to a presentation? Can I ask you to sign up for the course? I don't have to rely on Meta and Microsoft and Alphabet. I decide, not them. I even do it in my tequila business. I have a list of my top 35 favorite tequila brands, and we merchandise this list in social media all the time. And we now have more than 30,000 people on this list who have this list of tequila brands, and they bring it with them to the store, to the bar, to the restaurant. And now when I want to promote a tequila on behalf of a sponsor, I just send an email, and I don't have to rely on Meta or Microsoft or Alphabet to create the reach. Fifth thing is to be aggressively unusual. Some of you already are. To be aggressively unusual. The thing about AI is it can do some real miracles, but the one thing it can't do is easily disrupt authentic human referrals. One thing AI can't do is disintermediate a meeting planner saying to another meeting planner, you got to get Jim Cathcart for your event. We have to understand that word of mouth is more important today than it will ever be. And it'll be more important again tomorrow. So literally, as the importance of your website goes down, the importance of word of mouth is going to go up. It's like two elevators passing. Because you can't fake word of mouth with a robot. It doesn't work like that. So we have to work harder than perhaps we have in a while at giving audiences something to talk about. Sally says it best. Different is better than better. Competency does not create conversations. It's one of the great business mistakes of our age, is that we fooled ourselves into thinking that if we're just good, even really good, even excellent, even in the Hall of Fame, that our competency, our skills, our abilities will naturally create word of mouth. And they don't. It doesn't work like that. People don't tell stories about competency. They tell stories about something they don't expect. So we have to do something in our business or on the platform or however you want to construct it that becomes the story engine for your business as a thought leader. And that story is not, wow, she gave a great presentation. They expect you to give a great presentation. You're in the Hall of Fame, and that's what the money is for. You've got to do something that's not just, I'm a great speaker. So I really want you to consider this. What do you do that is uniquely you? That nobody else can do, does do, will do? What is your shtick? So for me, it used to be this. Some of you may know this. My talk trigger, as we call it in my business, used to be that meeting planners could pick out what crazy suit I wear on stage. And so when they book me for a keynote, they get a special website shown here, and they just click a button and they can match it to their logo or whatever. And then it goes immediately to my calendar, so I know what to pack. And they love it. They talk about it all the time. The problem is many of these suits are pre-pandemic sizing. So I cannot wear all the suits anymore. So I've changed the changed the word of mouth. And of course, as some of you know, I am now the #2 tequila influencer in the world, non-celebrity division. So it's not like me and Clooney and me and The Rock, but amongst mere mortals, I am in fact the #2 most popular tequila influencer on the planet. And so what I do now, in fact, I'm heading to Denver in a minute to do this for IASB, is I'll say, hey, I'll do a keynote, I'll do the closing keynote, but then let's do a reception and I'll do a tequila tasting and education class for all your sponsors and executives. Nobody else is doing that. Meeting planners love it. They remember it. It's awesome. All of us have special skills that are beyond what we do holding a microphone. And I think sometimes we shy away from that because we think it's frivolous or it somehow undercuts our authority. And I'm here to tell you it's the opposite. It's okay to lean into your passion just as much as you lean into your profession. So that's what I have for you today. 5 ways to win at hide and seek marketing. The first thing is to out execute the AI. Just make things better. Create content that AI can't steal from you. Second is to atomize your awareness. Be as many places as you can. It will give you more at-bats. Third is to show, don't tell. Really work on video because it's the thing that's harder for AI to disintermediate. Fourth is to de-anonymize your audience. Always be collecting data. Try and make sure you can reach your people reliably so you don't have to hope that giant corporations will show your stuff to the human beings. And last is be aggressively unusual. Find something that people tell stories about that transcends the transaction of bringing you in to give a presentation. I know this is scary, but the nice thing about marketing is it's always different. It's good job security for me. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you. Any questions?
Wow, that was amazing, both of you. I know there's going to be questions for both of you, so we will open it up to the floor. Just unmute yourself, raise a paw if you don't mind, and let's just maximize this time. This is brilliant and amazing. Thank you both so much.
Well, I'll ask Jay a question. So TikTok and Shorts, and I put it in the chat box, and Bill, you responded brilliantly as always. But did they actually convert? You know, because I think that people are just swiping so quickly through them. Do they actually, you know, pause and go, oh, Dan Thurman, he's standing on his head. That's a speaker that I want to hire? Or are they just going, oh, that's interesting, on to the next one?
Well, it's probably more the latter, but I would argue that there's a lot of value in that, right? That if the entire marketing strategy is if somebody's already in buy mode to sort of be the person that they can find, I think it's a very truncated approach to overall awareness building and lead generation. There's a lot of things that happen, right? There's a lot of things that happen before somebody's like ready to hire a speaker. So things like interacting with your content online, things like buying a book or reading your book, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, listening to your podcast or hearing you on somebody else's podcast. So there's sort of top of the funnel awareness things, and then there's bottom of the funnel, I need a speaker recommendation now. All of those have merit. They're just sequential. But no, our meeting planners saying, oh, I saw Dan's 60-second video, let me go to his website? Probably not.
I can attest to this one a little bit. I just put it in the chat. We post a video a day, and it's not me going, hi, I'm in Dallas. It's a clip from a speech. So we have a company that clips our speeches to 30 to 60 seconds. And I can tell you how often people in my life, like the parent at school goes, hey, I saw that video on pornography or whatever 3 days ago. I didn't even know what video went up 3 days ago. I approved it a month ago. But they know my videos better than I do. So that tells you that your frame of mind, your top of mind of people is definitely going to play in when they go to think about somebody for that event, because they've been watching you all year versus hearing from you once a month in an email or some kind of newsletter, if they really get into that. And so Jay, love that, because we've seen that to be very true.
Bill, do you want to talk about how you use video? Because you pop up in my feed all the time.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Talking to me?
You.
My video pops up in your feed all the time?
Yeah, here I am just looking for singing huskies, but oh no, I get Bill Cates.
I'm stalking you. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. We use video. We post it all the time. We're using a service I put in the chat that does it. It's an AI service, and it creates about 30 less than 60-second clips, because you want 60 seconds or less, so it'll fit in a YouTube reel, and they're editable too. Once you pick one you like, you can and all that. It's pretty cool. It's cheap. We were paying a guy in India like $25 a reel, and now I can get 30 reels for $20. Now 25 of them are crap, but 5 of them are great and usable. So we're using them on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I also agree with Jay around the, podcasts. I've been using podcasts forever, not because there are people listening, because of the juice that you get from being on it and all that sort of stuff. So I put it in the chat. I just for fun, I did Jay's thing, and I said, find me the top 10 speakers in sales and marketing for financial services, and I actually came up number 1 in front of people I probably shouldn't be in front of, which I found was cool. But the reason being is I got ranked by one service out there, ranked me as the number 1 influencer in the industry. Not that I am, but they think I am. And that informed the chat search. So that's just an example, a very direct example of what Jay's talking about.
And what's really interesting is if you reperform that search, you'll get a totally different list.
I'm not surprised.
It's not like Google. There's no like consistent single source of truth with AI, which is why
I'm also wondering, Jay, here's a question.
You'll get a different list of people the next time you do it.
Does it know that I did the search and then feeds me to me?
It depends on what tool you use and your relationship with that tool and how often you use it. Like the one I use often, not for the one I did the demo, but the other one I use, kind of now it knows it's me. In fact, I did a search like that just for kicks, and it said like speaker Jay Baer. It's like, hey, that, and it said, the AI said, hey, that's you. And I was like, okay, now I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah. Interesting. So I'm sorry I didn't answer the question directly, but that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. Questions for Jay and Kristin. John Cilio and then Frit, please.
Jay, this is for you. It's probably only applies to me, so it's a pretty selfish question. But for those of us who don't do social media or do it like very occasionally, don't do TikTok, other than being a very referable speaker, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the second piece about atomizing your awareness, which is it doesn't have to be content that you create necessarily, or social media necessarily. Just try to be alongside other content, right? So, say yes to more podcasts, write a guest blog post or write a series. I take, a lot of times I'll take my books and I'll take the full text of the book and I'll have a copywriter friend say, and I'll be like, okay, take this book and make me 100 different blog posts that are 750 words. Now you can do that with AI now. And now I've got 100 blog posts that I wrote essentially, and I can just farm those out to blogs in my industry. Be like, hey, I got a great guest post for you. Want to run it? So it's things like that will accomplish a similar objective. Yeah, there's no magic platform, although I do believe that especially as good as you are, John, that you should lean into video a little bit more.
Thanks, Jay.
One comment and then a question for Jay. And congratulations to both of you. I got my CPAE in the early 80s and I'm looking at how to revisit making that news. One, I have been creating and churning out short YouTube videos, less than a minute. And my audience that I have been watching this for years on YouTube has mostly been, I mean, over 98% men, of which the biggest age group is 54 to 65, or at least it's age appropriate. Since I've been using these YouTube shorts, my audience is more even. I have like 50% women and much younger audience. So my demographic is now with every category, which surprised me. Now, my question for Jay is, we tweet, we add content to YouTube, regular LinkedIn 2-3 times a week, 8 tweets a day, and Facebook. And I was thinking, well, maybe I should give up and focus on just two, the LinkedIn and the YouTube. But it seems like I should be adding. We do a little with Instagram, not a major focus. So maybe my Instagram and Shorts, TikTok, I should do more of.
Well, the nice thing is that YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and TikTok are all essentially the same content unit. So for my tequila business, we do 25 videos a month, custom videos from scratch. And it's the same video on TikTok as it is on Instagram. We don't do YouTube Shorts. I wish we could, because YouTube Shorts time limit is 60 seconds. And our videos typically are about 88 seconds. It's hard to kind of talk about the tequila and do all the things in a minute, at least for me, but that's one of the things we're working on. So if you're already doing 60s and you're already doing YouTube Shorts, Fripp, to turn that into Instagram Reels and TikTok is literally a matter of just posting it into other places. So you might as well.
That's awesome. Jim, I think you've got a question.
Yes, I've recently created a whole bunch being like 200 or 300 little meme style photographs with a quote on it. How do I use those wisely?
It's just it's an image. It's not a GIF or a video. It's an image.
No, it's photographs or usually action shots of me.
Yeah.
And the quote. Yeah. And then a link at the bottom.
What I would have said until yesterday is a LinkedIn carousel, where you've got the ability to kind of almost like a flip book left to right. LinkedIn just discontinued that, unfortunately, and it was a nice technique. But you can still do carousels on Facebook and on Instagram, and they tend to work really well. I would not do it all the time because the algorithm doesn't like it, but I would think about doing like a 5-frame carousel with like 5 quotes that are sort of contextually related, and do that, every Monday for 3 or 4 months, and I think you'll see some good results.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that.
Okay, Bill.
That's it. I was just gonna say that's a shame about LinkedIn carousels, because that gives us some of our best juice.
I know.
On LinkedIn carousels and the right kind of poll.
Yep.
Will give us a lot of
well, LinkedIn more than almost any other platform tends to really whipsaw what works and what doesn't work. Like for a while, some of you may remember this, LinkedIn video was like a cheat code. It was unbelievable. And now LinkedIn video, your mileage may vary, but it just doesn't work as well as it used to in most cases.
Good point.
It's all market based. It's all who you're trying to target too. It's a big part of it.
Good morning, folks. Just want to say hello to everybody from High Point, North Carolina, where I'm here today with Nito. I spoke for him yesterday and all his students. There was one thing Jay said that I thought was profound that I want to make sure we don't go by, because I hear sometimes pearls. He mentioned sponsorship. And so what we do is we do a daily video on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, but then we add sponsors to the 1 minute video who then pay us for using our brand to promote their brand. And then it's getting two-faced. You're getting still the engagement with the audience and the target market that you want to reach, but you're also being paid to do it. And so it expands it. So Jay, that was a great piece that you mentioned about sponsoring, and you kind of flew by it. And I want to make sure it was good and it was something that people should consider, is to add sponsors to their programming. Okay, good to see everybody. Have a great Veterans Day, and thank you for all those who serve our country. God bless you.
See you, Willie.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Both Kristin and Jay have very kindly said they would share their slides. So I will be putting them in the weekly CPAE newsletter. So thank you both so very much. Can we give them a huge round of applause? Woo! That was amazing. That was amazing. That was amazing. So appreciate y'all both so much. This was fabulous. I took 10 pages of notes. And we will be getting this. We will put this in a link. If Jay, I am not figuring out how to open these through this, so I might have to just send you an email. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we will get that out in the weekly notes. I try to get that out on Wednesdays. Occasionally, it is Tuesdays if there's something time critical. So with that, folks, you will get this as a recording and both sets of slides. And with that, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe, stay loving, stay kind. Appreciate you all so much. I appreciate it. Yay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.